Hello guys, welcome again to another interesting episode of Football Roundup, your most reliable source of football information. Please, before we get started, click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you haven't and if you are new to this channel. PSG forward Kylian Mbappe admits he is still undecided about signing a new deal at the Ligue 1 champion. The 22-year-old is now in the last 18 months of his deal in the French capital, with Real Madrid and Liverpool among the interested parties. The French World Cup winner has been constantly linked with a move to Real Madrid in particular and potentially working under non-admirer and compatriot Zinedine Zidane, but Mbappe insists he has not yet made a decision about his long-term future. Mbappe has just started working with new PSG boss Mauricio Pochettino, who replaced Thomas Tuchel at the beginning of January. He scored twice in PSG 4-0 win against Montpellier on Friday night as the reigning champions went top of the table. The France international has scored 104 goals in 146 games in Paris and was part of the squad which finished runners-up in the last season's Champions League. This season he has scored 14 goals in 22 appearances in all competitions as PSG look to win a fourth straight domestic title. Latest reports emerging from Spain say Real Madrid's long-term plan is to lure Mbappe in the summer from Paris Saint-Germain could be well becoming to a crunch in the summer. The Spanish giants believe the fee to sign Mbappe could range anywhere from 150 million euros to 222 million euros, with PSG possibly wanting to recoup what they paid to sign Neymar from Barcelona in 2017, that is 198 million pounds. PSG have absolutely no desire to lose Mbappe, be it in the summer or next, but if the 22-year-old refuses to sign a new contract in France, then they could be forced to reassess the situation in the summer so they don't lose him for a cut price fee in his final year. A few seasons ago, Real Madrid decided to change their transfer policy. In the years that followed, they have opted for young talent, with the idea of developing them and making them into stars. However, that policy isn't giving the expected results, and many of these young stars have now decided to leave on loan or for good because of a lack of minutes and confidence from Zinedine Zidane. The French coach almost always prefers his old guard of matches and is showing a flagrant distrust of those players who should be taken over from the established but also, over the course of a long season, exhausted stars. Rodrigo Goes has been the only exception to this rule of late, but a serious injury has kept him out of action for a while. In recent seasons, players like Theo Hernandez, Marcos Llorente, Alvaro Morata, Sergio Reguilón, Achraf Hakimi, and Oscar Rodriguez are among those to decide to go down a new path because of how hard it is to establish yourself at Real Madrid. Other players like Jesus Valero, Brahim Diaz, Dani Ceballos, Takefusa Kubo, Borja Mayoral, and René Jesus have left on loan, but once they return, they will find themselves warming the bench, as they say. The situation with Martin Odegaard is even more serious. The Norwegian could have stayed at Sociedad for another year, where he will become a star in La Liga, but Zidane not recalled him for reasons that are still not clear. Luka Jovic has also departed, though from my point of view, it seems he deserves it for his off-field behavior. And so, of all these young talents once at the club's disposal, only Andre Lunin, who barely counts, Vinicius Jr., who is a worse player now than before he arrived, and Valverde, who has also taken backward steps this season after injuries remain. We can conclude from all this that a coach is also there to improve his players, something that Zidane isn't achieving in this case. The young stars, when they get to play, are gripped with nerves when they are into the pitch because they already know how virtually impossible it is to make a name for yourself in this Real Madrid team. All of these players are part of the club's heritage. Some have cost a lot of money and Real Madrid can't afford to keep letting them leave by the back door. Either you make the most out of them or you change your transfer policy. In the end, it's Zidane's management of these players that is proving a disaster. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta survived a difficult run of form earlier this season and looks to have turned the club around, and the Spaniard said his Chelsea counterpart Frank Lampard should also be given time to get them back on track. Lampard is under huge pressure at Chelsea after Tuesday's 2-0 loss to Leicester City saw them slip to 8th. They have now lost 5 of their last 8 Premier League games. Arsenal's form nosedive during November and December, and Arteta only managed to turn the tide with a win over Chelsea on December 26th. They are now unbeaten in 6 games in all competitions.